Hi everybody, welcome back to our 10 for 10 series, 10 minutes of Torah a day. We're already on season 2, episode number 5, and because today's Erev Shabbat Tzav, like I've been doing till now on all the Erev Shabbat, we've been saying something about the Parsha. So today I hope to do as well, share a bit of inspiration, a bit of insight from our Parsha this week, Parshat Tzav, and of course I hope you are keeping well, I hope you are getting ready for Shabbos in the best way possible. I know things are not easy, another day where we are confined to our homes and of course only leaving for essential reasons. So just wishing you strength and inspiration hopefully to carry you through the weekend. So in our Parsha this week, Parshat Tzav, there's one particular fascinating aspect which I would like to focus on, and that is a process known as the Trumat HaDeshen, where the Kohanim, the priests who were serving in the Mishkan, in the tabernacle, would come the next morning after the altar had been burning overnight, and they would have to come and clean out the ashes. It was a particular process how they did it. They had to wear particular clothing and change their clothing. I believe it involved 2 different Kohanim doing 2 different aspects of the cleansing. But I think this process of removing the ashes from the Mishkan, I think serves 3 different insights, 3 different ideas that we can hopefully extrapolate into our lives to make it current, to make it relevant, and hopefully something which will be of benefit to all of you who are watching this 10 for 10. And the first thing I think relates to more of a metaphoric and spiritual concept, and that is that what the Kohen was doing in a sense, he was coming and recognizing yesterday's service because there was the ashes from what had occurred previously, and now he had to clean it and make it ready that we can now have new sacrifices happening, of course, in the new current day. And I think this symbolizes 2 very crucial, foundational aspects of how we are to relate in life. The first is learning from yesterday's stories, history, understanding what our ancestors did, understanding their particular predicaments that they had to face. And of course, as Jews, we do that all the time. Every one of our Chagim, every one of so much of our Jewish calendar is revolving around the Zikaron, remembrance of what happened. Pesach in itself, the Haggadah, is talking about the story of our ancestors. But at the same time, if we don't make it current, if we don't make it fresh, if we don't make it relevant to you and I, if we don't see how does the story talk to us in today's day and age, then we're missing the purpose. So yes, we need to learn from what happened in the past. We need to be guided by the stories of our ancestors. But at the same time, we need to be focused on how we being making our lives, our Yiddishkeit, our inspiration, our connection, how is that alive and current today? So yes, we've got to remove the old, so we're still recognizing it, but now make space for something new too. And I think that's an approach which has to be in your own personal life, in a sense, not only with your Yiddishkeit, but anything in life. If you're not being inspired from day to day, if you're not feeling recharged and refreshed, and now is the most important time, when we are stuck at home, it's very difficult to feel infused and to feel current and to feel fresh. So we've got to put extra effort in, because otherwise it can be a challenge on our mental health. So first important message is, learn from messages of the past. At the same time, make sure that you are being inspired going into the present and of course into the future. The second one is, a message of leadership. Today we are seeing world leaders are at the forefront more so than ever. Press conferences are being watched day in, day out. Leaders are trying to share messages. Rabbis, I have never seen so many shiurim and so many, YouTube clips and Facebook messages and Facebook Live, myself included. But at the same time, what we see with the Kohanim was that they had to also go and remove the ashes. And you would think that perhaps they should hire somebody else to do it. Why should they themselves do it? Why should the leader get involved in this particular aspect of the whole process? It seems menial. It's perhaps even might get them dirty. So why should they go ahead and do that? And I think what it was teaching the Kohanim, and any leader for that matter, is that in order to really lead a people, in order to really be able to give guidance, give support, give kindness, the leader has to demonstrate and show that they understand and they've, in a sense, experienced what the average person is doing as well. If they're talking from a place of height, if they are aloof, if they're talking down to their community, if they're talking down to the people, their constituents, I guess people won't listen to them, won't hear them. And you see the greatest leaders in today's day and age and throughout history are the ones who are able to relate to another human being, who are able to say, look, yes, I might not necessarily have done the same job as you, I might not necessarily have done the same and experienced life in the same way as you, but I'm talking to you. I want to feel your pain. I want to experience your anxiety. I want to experience what the world is feeling like for you today. And if I can talk to you from that position, then that is where a leader really can be strong and can really help others. And so the Kohanim, yes, whilst they were doing this most sanctified work, this most beautiful work, they also had to do the work of the Trumat Hadeshen, because they needed to tell the people, we want you to relate to us. We want you to be inspired by us. We want you to find your holiness from us as well too. And the third one, which is, I think, again, another very relevant thing in our day and age, and that is, before this coronavirus, I have spoken about it even before the coronavirus. I've given drashot, I've given shiurim about it, where sadly people forget about those who are doing the work, which many people don't even come to recognize. They don't even appreciate. This person who's delivering your mail. How many people recognize and appreciate these people who are riding around town delivering things? But now we are starting to appreciate, more so than ever, the person who's checking out the food at your supermarket. How many people ever thought about them? Of course, nurses and doctors are at the forefront now, and I've always appreciated nurses and doctors because their work is amazing. But anybody, any job today, you recognize that every single human being is important. Every single human being is valued. And yes, whilst many jobs today are not needed anymore, and of course other jobs have risen to the forefront, we should learn from this experience, from this teaching of the Torah, that every single person is valued. And whilst you might not necessarily see that work being done, whilst people probably never saw the Kohen going in to clean out the ashes, nonetheless, that person, and for that person, it was meaningful and an experience which they believe was helping everybody else. So I think in life, never underestimate what something means for a person, and of course never underestimate and never underappreciate what people do for you. As I said, we are starting to recognize so many jobs in this world which unfortunately and sadly never had the recognition, never had the appreciation. Teachers, who are going out there to educate children at kinders, at childcare centers. There's just so many jobs where unfortunately for so long were underappreciated and never valued in the way that they should have been done. And today I think the world is seeing that. So we have 3 lessons. Number 1, remember to be infused, to make your Judaism current. Learn from the past, but make sure that you're also thinking about the future. Number 2 is, as in a position of leadership, and that could be for a parent to a child, make sure you talk to their level. Make sure you don't ever try and be loftier or holier than thou. And of course, appreciate every single person's job. Recognize that while some jobs might not be be glorious and might not have the camera shining on them, they are to be recognized and appreciated as well. So wishing you a Shabbat Shalom, a wonderful weekend ahead. It's going to be another Shabbos without us being in shul together, another Shabbos without us being able to sing together. But join us this afternoon if you watch us before that occurs for our virtual Kabbalat Shabbat. And again, only blessings and wishes for goodness, and may this coronavirus disappear from us, and may it be very soon. Good Shabbos and Shabbat Shalom.